All right. So yeah, uh,
There we go.
happy to excited to go through your changes and see what um what we think.
There we go. I'm sharing my screen now, right?
Yes. Perfect.
Okay. So first, I changed most of the sources. I still have to look through some of them. Here first, I found some interesting articles regarding how the effectiveness of the vaccine is measured because uh, they aren't like hospitalization and death aren't the main thing that it's measured when they measure the efficacy. But
Yeah.
well, I found this one that quite polemic because it doesn't clarify that it's talking about clinical studies and now that real world data is around. Um, there's more about it, but I wanted to know what you thought about this.
So let's see. I think that one's a good example. Actually, yeah, I think you ended up stop sharing, and it's
Oh,
hard for me to keep it all in my mind. So if you want to bring that back up,
yeah.
um, so let's see. But it was the one about yeah. So we separated getting a bad illness versus death,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the sources that out there combine both of those.
Yeah. So here, and yeah, it's the Sol 7 COVID vaccine. Not
Yeah.
one vaccinated.
So yeah, I
It
think that's a
says,
good quote.
yeah,
Um,
it
but
does
yeah,
this
what? Go ahead.
100% effective, and in real world data, that is not what happened. I mean, most studies are around Israel right now, and there has been some hospitalization after vaccine, but well, this is from clinical data, and I think, but it does link to this here. I don't know what you think about it. Like it's still about the clinical trials.
Well, I still think that that's that's okay until someone comes back and says, since the clinical trial things have happened. Um,
Hmm.
but even it, I think that the deeper we can go as far as the sources. So in that tweet there on the right, there's a link to
Hmm.
an article. Is this chart? Oh, no, so they made that chart off of
Hmm.
that.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, the good thing is that this is a good projection from seeing.
it's together hospitalizations and death, but
Of course, if they're both 100%, that's okay because then it speaks to.
mhm.
um, so it might be better to actually. I'm just wondering whether it's better to link to this.
This than the article.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it
Okay.
does link through. Um, I'm just thinking that when you link to the article, there's a lot of stuff in that article. Well,
Yeah,
let me
that's
go back to the article. Is it the title of that article? What
yeah.
part were you kind of quoting?
I mean, I found articles saying that another article saying that this article was like kind of um not,
I
I
really
wouldn't
well done.
say.
Well, and I really don't like the number of ads on that for linking to it. Um,
Yeah, but maybe just linking to the tweet would be fine. Or it speaks about different studies in each vaccine.
so we haven't found, I mean, the ideal case would be an actual study rather than even a social media link or a news article.
Yeah, the thing I could link like these 5 studies. Otherwise, it's only talking about one vaccine in one specific case.
Yeah. We could even link to, we can put more than one link. So we
Okay.
could do one for each study. Now we could also, another option is but there hasn't been I guess it wouldn't be a study if they rolled them all up. But you think someone has done, I mean, I kind of like this tweet because it's a good summary and it links to the source.
The thing
Uh,
is, to back up these claims that are quite general, it's like a lot of articles are needed because like studies are quite specific. But I can link to all of them. I think each claim will need a lot of studies.
yeah, if we're linking to several though, we could make those child claims and just
Mhm,
say, here's a study on Moderna, here's a study on Pfizer, here's a study on AstraZeneca. I was just hoping there was someone that already did that, which is kind of what this tweet is.
mhm,
But I was just hoping it was a little, I guess you're
mhm,
never really gonna get what you want.
mhm,
So yeah, I would think it'd be great to go ahead and link to this tweet, and especially since the tweet links to the articles. And then if we get someone coming in and saying, well, for Pfizer it did this, then we could make that a child claim and address it
mhm.
specifically. So yeah, I'd almost think that tweet would be better than the article.
Okay, I agree.
Now, what did you
Uh,
think? I think I mentioned a couple times about potentially changing the links to the article to just say the source. So it'd say USA Today for that one, or for this one, it would probably put whatever the name of the person that did the tweet, rather than the full
mhm,
title of the article.
mhm.
That makes sense. What did you think of that? Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah, I started taking out the person who wrote it for to
Mhm.
make it shorter. Also with studies, it's usually a lot of people, so it would take a lot of space.
Yeah, so if it's coming from a news agency, like for that
Mhm.
USA Today, I think we could just do USA Today,
Okay.
and then leave out the article name because they'll see it if they click through. They just kind of want to know who the source is. Now, I guess if we're tweeting that one person,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah, I should put her name right.
yeah, I would put Monica Gandhi, MD, MPH, rather than her Twitter handle. And the
Hmm.
USA Today, I'd put the name USA Today rather than what I was doing before, which I suggest to you, the website address, usatoday.com.
Okay.
So I just put the full name and leave it underlined. Uh, but we'll need to think more about kind of how we want to have our citations
Hmm.
work.
Yeah.
Just as long as it gives them a sense. I mean, what I want them to come away with is, before they click it, give them a sense for the the authority level of the person. So USA Today, it's like, well, it's a news
Hmm.
organization that has a bias, so they know going in that they may completely distrust that news organization, and that's fine. And then this person that would, they're an MD, an MD is not a researcher, so but anyways, I think that would be, it'll never be perfect, so I think that's acceptable.
Yeah, that's the USA Today was mostly why I had like second thoughts, because it doesn't feel like trustable when you first see it. But yeah, if I link it to a tweet,
Yeah.
it would be better.
Yeah, so as you have time, let's try going through and changing it towards just the name of the person or the organization that is posting it. Yeah.
All right. And then I found this by CDC. I wanted to know if you agreed, because this one actually has references and links to studies. So it says
Were you able to get it to where it links to a certain comment in the page? Did you got that working?
Yeah.
I had trouble with it. I know I showed how to do that, but I was like, it's not working for me. So that's really good.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. So here.
Yeah. Where's it linking to the sources? Is it just at the bottom?
Vaccine efficacy from human clinical trials. I know there are no links here, but well, there are reference down here with all the studies.
Okay.
I don't know if it gets easier.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. I guess we want to use the best source. I think for something like this, this is one that I think the CDC would be okay to kind of quote.
Okay.
And like you said, this article, it's not their kind of fluffy, nice articles like we were doing before. This one gets into the weeds. So yeah, I think that's a good choice there.
Okay, good. And then this one somehow, well, this is the myth.
Now, what's interesting, those scores don't look right.
No.
Reduce your chance of death due to COVID-19, and it's empty, meaning it has no impact.
Yeah, I did the changes. I don't know how it changed the scores somehow.
Let me take a look while we're talking. Go ahead and open up one of those again. Oh, so yeah, no, this is a quirk of the system.
Okay.
If a claim has no children, Gullibot assumes it's completely true. But if it has a child, it doesn't make that assumption anymore at all. So now that this is a child and it's a myth, sure, the myth doesn't have any evidence that it's true, but there's no other children next to that myth to say whether it's true or false. So Gullibot's then just taking the opposite of zero, which is still zero. So it's still, so basically what we need to do, if we have a myth on there, we need to have a sibling for it that is saying why we think it's true.
Okay, so I should move this up. This is
unless, well, if that applies just to the antibody, there's no evidence. No, because I think that one still causes it. I think we just need a generic one that says, kind of repeats the statement. And maybe I need to correct the system to where it doesn't do this, but the math is a bit wonky. What we might do is go ahead and just make a claim that has the link to the science brief.
Okay.
And so that would be the claim saying that it will reduce your chance. And what we could say there, we could just repeat they will reduce your chance. We could just have it be the link to the article, honestly. But I think in this case, since it's a claim all by itself and it's not kind of the definition, then maybe we would go ahead and say, according to this article, it will reduce your chance of getting COVID-19, and then put the link.
Okay. Yeah, I can look for more evidence if that is
Well, even
needed to do
I
a,
think we can, I think if we just move that evidence, so like the evidence tends to be always in the, do you understand when I say the leaves of a tree for this?
yeah.
So the leaves are the end nodes that have no children, right?
Mhm.
So unless you're talking about that evidence, the evidence will usually be a leaf node at the very end of the tree. So now that we have a myth under the fact that they will reduce your chance of death, so that myth actually has nothing to do with that article, really.
Mhm.
So we need to take the link off of that one and create an evidence-based claim on that science brief from the CDC. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. In the claim, is that fine? Oh, my connection is unstable. Could it be?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, and this is kind of where it'd be easier if my interface was. So what I do is on that top claim, they will reduce chance of death COVID-19. Just take out the link, the evidence completely. Make a new child claim underneath that
Mhm.
one that says, here's an article showing that it reduces your, because we already have the evidence. It's just now in the wrong place because we have a myth down there.
Okay. All right. Then. So only, is there other, like this one resource? Yeah. Kind of long, but
What was the claim this one was linked to? Can you toggle back? I turned my video off. It might help bandwidth if you go ahead and turn your video off. I think people have seen us.
I'm changing my internet to mine.
Okay.
Hi, sorry.
That's okay.
Here. Mm. I'm still sharing the screen, or did it
It disappeared.
disappear?
You want to turn off your video, that might help a little bit.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go. Coming back up. Yeah.
Here. So what were you saying about the source? Sorry.
Oh, I was thinking, what was the claim that this source is linked to? Can you go
yeah.
back to reason score for a second?
Yeah.
They'll reduce the spread of COVID-19 to others. Okay. Yeah, I'm also thinking through sometimes when I'm posting oh, and so this is another one, since now we have a myth, we need to move that evidence, that source down to its own child claim of the main claim.
Okay.
And then I think what we'd want to do is what would COVID say to set up this source? I'm sorry, not COVID. What would Gulli say
Yeah.
when setting up the source? So Gulli might, Now, so there's several things in here. One is if it's a really good quote, then you might go ahead and quote it, although that one looks kind of long. And the other one might say, let's go ahead and go to the source. So,
yeah, the thing is to find like studies, specific studies for each of these are many studies. And yeah, so I was trying to find something that has a lot of data concerning
yeah.
this.
Yeah, I think this is a good article. I think you did
Okay.
a good job with that. But the question is so since we're separating this source onto its own kind of claim, we're trying to think of what would Gulli say about this. So it could be something as simple as, according to this Nature article, the vaccines block transmission, and then the article link. It could be something as simple as that.
Yeah, but the thing is that they do not block it. It reduces the
Oh
spread.
yeah, you're right. The heading there says block, but you're right. It's
Mhm.
that's good, because we want Golibot to be non-sensational
Mhm.
in what it says. So yeah, so reduces transmission. And if you want to, you can summarize this as much, be as specific. The more specific is better.
Mhm.
So if we wanted to say reduced by 50% or reduced by 70%, 74%, or reduced by up to or between 74 and 50%. So however you would summarize this section of the article might be something good to say.
Okay. There's a lot of information. That's the thing. I wouldn't know how to summarize it, but I can give it a thought and come up with something.
Yeah.
And that would be for the child claim that has the link, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now the other option, if you don't feel like there's a good summarization, is two other options. One, you can just quote it,
Mhm.
or just put that whole quote in there. Or if you want to, you could just leave it saying, since most of the COVID vaccines, leave the title, and in this case, the title, because if we just put nature.com, that wouldn't make sense. But if you want to just leave the title article on nature.com, I think that would work. So those are your kind of three options.
Okay. Um, this is fine, the myth and child. Oh, you told me you like this is on the review and on the other video and the feedback. This was the link that you said you found more useful, but I don't know it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think that's good. Go back to reason score real quick. All right, I would still change where it says vaccine
this one.
developers are well aware. Yeah, that I would almost quote what that article says, because I think they phrased it pretty well,
Okay.
or at least that first sentence in there.
Mhm.
So yeah, one of the main important things is kind of speaking in Gullibot's voice.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah,
Perfect.
maybe
I will
that
change
first
that
sentence.
one. And future variants. Here, this article is not. It just analyzes the how variants may affect the promise of vaccines, but I didn't find like a claim to. Oh well, here yes I did. Okay, this is still need more information about it. Uh,
Yeah.
Same here. I would move that claim down as child, the source. Or I think
Yeah,
I put another claim here explaining that they offer protection against known emerging variants at the moment, and it's the same CDC science brief that has references. I don't
yeah,
know if I here.
yeah.
So here, should I also make another child claim with the, because, well, this might contrast this one, right? So this child claim could have, if it was a con, it would stick to the, it would be good for the numbers.
Yeah, if you have a link to some evidence or a source, all the children should be talking about that
Mhm.
source. Otherwise, we
Ah,
need to
okay.
move the source down to someplace else.
Ah, okay.
Um, um,
So moving this one down, right?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm wondering if the vaccines may cause new COVID-19 variants. I don't think that that's a child of they may not protect you against them. I would almost say that one needs to be moved up to like
Okay.
the second level where we talk about the pros and cons of taking it, because whether or not it protects you is different from the decision of whether or not it creates new variants.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
In which case, you may not then need to move that source down from the they may not protect you,
Hmm.
because it won't have any children if you move that out.
Okay. So moving this myth
I
to,
think to the top,
the top.
because that's really one of the main concerns about it, is that what if we give everyone, if we make new variants?
Mhm. Okay. Also for this myth, I have sources that are like doubtful articles that say this. I didn't want to link to them because it's kind of giving them publicity.
So I do have the links. Any link that we put on this system, I have it set to where Google will not take that as us trying to give them more authority.
Okay.
It will, so people will still find it if they come and look at it,
Mhm.
but it doesn't give them any search engine optimization.
Okay.
So that helps there.
Good to know. Yeah.
But I would also only put them in there if they uh,
Right now I'm keeping
provide
them
value.
in the research sheet.
Yeah.
That's why I needed it to have like the sources where the myths are coming from.
I mean, if they directly, so we want to represent the debate.
Hmm.
So if you read those articles and then you read this article and you feel like this article that you have um, already kind of dismisses all of those, I don't know that we need to list the other ones. I
Okay.
would wait till we'll post this on social media and then someone will come back and say, well, what about this? And then we'll put it in there. Because I don't know. See, the thing is also when we're putting a link to an article there, we're not actually saying this whole article is true or this whole article is false. We're saying that this that they made this claim, and
Hmm.
here we're going to discuss this specific claim of that in that article,
Hmm.
rather than the whole article. Although sometimes it'll be the whole article, but a lot of times it'll just be a single claim. Now, if you see anything, if you look through those articles and there's any claims that this other article doesn't already dispute,
Mm-hmm.
then we might consider putting them in.
Okay.
But I think for this one in general, I would say
Awesome.
we'll post it on social media and let someone come back with the reason why they think, rather than going out there and finding all the junk science.
Okay. Then, and the major change I did here would be because we had this as a pro that negative long-term health effects would be rare, but there's no source saying that because there are no long-term studies. So like I've been around it and I don't know how to back it up to say that it would be rare because no serious study back that claim up. And
Right.
I think it is like the biggest concern. What the main
Mhm.
concern would be is that we don't know. And yes, so I put it as a con. I wanted to know what you thought
Yeah,
about
yeah, I
it.
think that's definitely a con. Well, yes, you're right, because it is an actual concern. And that the fact that you might have that there might be long-term side effects
Mhm,
is a reason to unfortunately hesitate and to think
mhm.
through, should I take this? But so yes, you're right. That should have been a con from the beginning. That's true. Um,
Like it would be rare, and there are, but usually people who say that it won't happen, it's not very like trustable.
mhm.
Uh,
Well, I thought there were, yeah, well, we do have it. How is that one at? It's like it's about 50% or something there. Can you hit the more info on the vaccines may have negative long-term effects?
mhm,
So do we not have any children? Oh, it's lower because okay, this claim is lower impact because other claims in the section have higher importance. Okay, yeah, close it. Yep.
I also added this one that I don't know. It may I wanted it to like back up the other one that it's COVID may cause long-term negative side effects. That this is study and has proof about it. But I because on the other feedback you said it could be like side by side. I can delete this because I know it doesn't uh,
Yeah, I think
like
those are kind of duplicates. So we need to
okay
either combine them or remove one.
okay. Yeah, I thought about it having it cited to vaccines may have negative long-term health effects, but yeah, I'm not sure about it. I wanted to analyze it
I
better.
think we could probably just remove that one.
Okay.
Oh, wait, let me see. Oh, I'm sorry. One's for the vaccine may cause long-term side effects,
Wow.
and one's saying that COVID will. Oh, no, right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Mhm,
I would put that. I mean, the COVID-19 may cause long-term side effects. I would actually put that at the root because it's
mhm,
really unrelated to whether the vaccine causes. I mean, it
mhm,
balances out the fact that vaccine can cause it, but
mhm,
it's a sibling of whether the vaccine causes it, not a child,
mhm.
because you need to consider those at the same level.
Yeah.
So I would move that one up to the
Okay.
top,
Yeah, I think it's like one of the
unless it's already there.
important things about it.
Right.
So okay, here, and I did the same changes with COVID-19. Where is it? Here, vaccines have common minor side effects. It said before it said like adverse effects are rare, but it's still like not a pro.
Right, you're right. That's better phrased as con. And yeah. Yeah, and that's definitely a reason that people are hesitant. So we should have it in there. But where do you have that? You have that under, what's that underneath?
No, it's underneath the chance of experience a significant negative side effect.
So I would think that one needs to be moved up next as a sibling of the significant side effects, because a minor side effect
Mhm.
is a separate concern.
Yeah. And it's not under the. Oh, okay. So it would be moved up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think,
there are a lot of claims down here that maybe could
yeah, it's
be
hard to,
organized.
that's one thing I'm learning is how hard it is to think through all this stuff.
No, it's good. Yeah. And this also, this was the thing that was talked about in the podcast for.
Well, so what's interesting is that the fact that vaccines have common minor side effects is 100% true,
Mhm.
but it's not very important.
Yeah.
So the way we would show that in here is that is we want to give the reasons why this one is less important than the other ones. And then
Mhm.
we want to actually uh, let me share my screen.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to make it minor by saying this, that I don't know, vaccine side effects are minor, but it could be phrased better, and needs to have less importance. So you
Yeah.
can share your screen. Do I have to stop sharing mine? Oh, there
Oh.
we go. Perfect.
So yeah, one I'm gonna make some changes here, but I'm not gonna save them because I'm just gonna throw some stuff away. Um, I mean, so I think this one is. So this one, when we move this up to the top,
Mhm.
let me think this through because now I'm thinking. So let me think through this. So really what we're doing is we're balancing the pros and cons of taking the vaccine. Now any pro can be phrased as con. In most cases, cons can be phrased as pros, but the minor side effects is a con. It's not important. I'm just thinking,
Maybe we could change the phrasing in that claim that it's that experience a significant negative side effect, and just be a negative side effect, and then it's fine to talk about all the side effects.
yeah, that's definitely one way to go. Um, but we still, for this one, we still need to make it less important.
Mhm.
So and these, so yeah, these are kind of duplicating each other, which is actually okay in some cases.
Mhm.
So what I would do for these, since we don't want it to, but right now these are changing its truthfulness rather than its importance.
Mhm.
So to change these to where they change their and so right now they affect the confidence. We can change this to affects relevance. Let's see how that changes the score. Unfortunately, that still brought it up quite a bit, but that's because we have this one. So all of these they're not saying that it's that, oh, that one is all relevance.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, good. Although I guess technically this is then a pro, not a con, right?
It said that side effects of the vaccines are worse. Oh, okay, yeah. No, it's a con.
Oh, because they're both supposed to be support. Actually, they're both. Are they both supporting this? Let me see. 100.
I mean, this.
They're both saying that you're. I have those backwards, but they're both making this one less important.
Mhm.
So they should be. Oh well, yeah. If we're making it less important, then it's the opposite of the color. But actually, I don't know why this is. So here's the problem with the, and maybe I need to change how the math works, is that we don't have a pro in here. So the math was coming out wrong. But still, why is this is. I guess one challenge is that the math for this kind of reducing the importance is a little broken right now.
Mhm.
I keep thinking I've fixed it, and then it doesn't quite come out the way I would expect. Because I would think that this should still have some weight to it.
Mhm. I think for people under 50, the side effects of the vaccine are worse than having COVID-19 would be a con. And I wanted to to outweigh it with the saying that people under 50 go to the hospital with COVID-19. I thought about putting that one as a child to like outweigh it at all, but cited maybe they're.
So the question is it a pro or a con for the main statement? So is it the purple side saying this, or the orange team, the purple team or the orange team? So the purple team is saying, of course you should take it, because for people under 50, the side effects of the vaccines are worse than having, oh wait, or worse than, I was reading that wrong. Are we saying that that's true?
I wanted to outweigh that at all, but because it is a popular claim, I thought about adding it.
Okay, so you're right. I was reading this wrong the whole time, but
it could be removed also. I don't know if it's that important, to be honest.
let me remove it for now.
That could be removed also. It was only there to outweigh the other one.
Well, I do want something that says it's less important.
Mhm.
So
No,
actually, let's do it this way. More info. Delete both these for now. All right. So if we look at these, vaccines may have. Let's see, where is that? Vaccines have common minor side effects. Now it's still at 50%.
Yeah, I could add pro trial, talking about how mild the common minor side effects are.
So yeah, so mild is just mild. So something better than that. Um, uh, uh, and then make it relevant. And that
It
didn't
should
work.
be a pro, right?
Yes,
trial.
yes, you're right. It's multiplying it. I forgot that. Yeah, so now it's even lower. I mean, I'd like to see it even lower than that. So I don't know if it's, I don't know. That's one of the problems with how this is that the way that you would normally do that is you would add another one. Uh, so you just have to find a couple ways to kind of phrase it. See, but now it looks 0. Why is it 0? Where's the pro that I had in there? Did I lose it? Oh, yeah. It's unsupported.
Maybe change one into confidence, one having one pro relevance and one pro confidence, and that's like a balance.
Yeah, it shouldn't need that. So I don't know why the code isn't working. It seems that, I mean, maybe we can just leave it with just one. Oh, except I kind of deleted the wrong one. I mean, maybe there was some weight there, but it was so low. That still looks off. That looks lower than it should. Anyways, do I need this one? Let's try and delete this.
Okay.
So yeah, so maybe we just need that underneath it just to lower it some, and then we'll see how that changes the whole score. If it has too high of an impact, then we'll have to figure something out.
Okay.
And then we'll move this one. We can either move it up or we could rechange. We can put this saying that it has side effects, and then yes, under there you could have the minor side effects, and then you can have the major side effects. Either way, or we can put it at the top here. I guess we have 5, and that's probably, we don't want a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, the thing is, if we're talking about negative side effects
Yeah.
in one and having all the FDA and things
Yeah.
there, but not the common side effects.
So yeah, I think you're right. Is just, yeah, have one of these that talks about there's a chance you'll experience side effects, and then yeah, underneath that have a high side effect. Now that's going to be moving around a lot of claims. Are you comfortable with how to move a claim, or do I need to show you that again? Because some of these claims I think have a lot of information on them.
No, I think I'm comfortable with it.
Okay, so you know how to use the score ID and put it in the paste claim.
Oh no,
Okay.
that I don't know.
So like, let's say cancel this. Let's say, what's one we wanted to move? That's a big one. Let's use this one as example. It's not going to be what you want to do, but you can open up this claim, edit it. Let's say we want to move this claim to a different place. You copy out the score ID, and then what you do is then wherever you want to put it, you can hit the add, and then you can paste a claim ID, and then save, and it'll duplicate that claim. Although I don't see it here.
On the second one, but it's empty.
Oh, right, because I left it as a. There's a chance you could experience a significant negative. No. This is the one I copied, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it didn't work.
Mm.
I mean, maybe because they're at the same level and it was already there. So let's say let's try and move this one out. So edit this claim, copy the score ID. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Oh, clean up everything. Okay. So I copied that ID, and then I'm going to add a pro-recon, and then I'm going to paste it into the claim here, and then save it. Now, why is it blank?
It should copy the whole claim.
Yeah, and all of its children. I think
Okay.
what happened is I maybe it's not the claim ID, but the score ID. Hold on, let's see. Edit this claim. No. Maybe it is the claim ID. I did it on a previous video and it's been a while. I need to like make this easier. Let's try. Add. Paste. Yeah, paste claim. So it's probably the claim ID is the problem. I probably pasted. Yeah,
Oh,
so
there it is.
now it's there, right? And it has its children.
Oh, good.
And they exist in both places. So here's the purple one. So you can leave them in both places. And this one's still here. And then if you change one of these, like let's edit this claim, just put
Oh, it changed both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's here
Good.
as well.
Oh, that's great.
Because sometimes there are situations where a claim should exist in two different places, like two things are talking about the same article, and then you talk about how the author of the article is not reliable. That, as you make a change on one, it should automatically make a change on the other. So that's one way to do it. And then if you move it and then you decide later that you don't want it in both places, then all you do is you go ahead and you delete this one. And the other one will still stay.
Okay.
So that's an easy way to move a claim and all of its children and information.
That's great.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I could use it. I know I have to review it, but and reducing the spread and the variant claim, there's like something that may touch each other.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So just remember to copy the claim ID. I was copying the score ID instead. I probably need to hide this. I don't know if that's important anymore. It used to be important. So later on, when we want to tweet about these things, like let's say we want to discuss the common minor, reducing the spread. That's one that people are going to debate about. Then you can click this tweet about this claim, and this
Right.
link opens it up to that spot. So that if we paste in here, it opens up to here. Now it still shows all this other stuff for context. So
Mhm.
I probably should have it like fade these out or something. But
Mhm. Yeah,
anyway.
that looks good.
So yeah, eventually we'll start sharing social media and having people talk about the specific things.
Right.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
anything else you wanted to cover?
no, that was kind of it.
Cool. So yeah, go ahead and let me know when you get when you kind of get the changes made again, and we'll have another look and do another pass.
Great. Thank you, Vinley.
Sure. Hold on 1 second.